Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. It is I, Gayla, and welcome back to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated, and welcome to day 2 of Bookmas. And so today we're going to be discussing the 5 books that represent who I am as a reader, as a person, my personality, things that I love, and things that I've always stand on and stood for. And so we're going to start that with the book by Aisha Roscoe, edited by her, because it's a compilation of people that have had experiences being students at HBCUs, and so it's HBCU made. For those who know me and my family and my inner circle, I went to Florida A&M University, and it was one of the best decisions I made in my young life. My mother really let me make the decision of choosing a college. She didn't pigeonhole me. She said I can do whatever I wanted to do. The world was my oyster, and that was the best decision I made in my young life at the time. I met some amazing people. My roommate to this day, we are in contact with one another. She comes here, I go there. And it's just been a beautiful experience. I will admit, out of the 5 books, this is the only book I have yet to read. And maybe it's not a super long book, so maybe this is something I get to over the break because I have time just to sit down and read. But I'm super interested in the people that wrote remarks in this book. So we have people like Aisha Roscoe herself, Roy Wood Jr., Stacey Adams, some other well-known people, Marcus Brown, Nicole Perkins, April Ryan, just to name a few, and also Oprah Winfrey. And so I'm excited about reading this, but those who know me, I am 10 toes down for HBCUs. I bleed orange and green every day, Rattlers all day. But yes, this is what started me out on my journey as a young person going to a HBCU. The next book, the second book that represents who I am and how life has changed for me and my thinking and growing up and being a middle-aged woman, is The Year of the Yes by Sandra Rhimes. I talk about this book all the time. I even suggest this book to clients who are dealing with the notion of being their full self, but also having some boundaries and not letting people overtake you or make you feel uncomfortable in who you are as a person. I read this, I believe, during COVID, and it was very pivotal in my life. I think that time was very pivotal for a lot of people, but it gave me permission to be my full self. And I feel like I've always been my full self because I have a very supportive family. But you know, when you're in the world in which you live, you have some doubts. But I have no doubts anymore. I am who I am. I say yes when I want to. I say no when I want to. And it is what it is. The third book is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. And so the year I turned 30, many moons ago, my first international trip was to Europe with some friends that I grew up with. And we went to Italy. It was a Mediterranean cruise. And so we were leaving from Venice. We were docking in Venice. And I was like, I'm a teacher. I have all this time. I'm not just going for this trip. I'm going across the world for the first time. I'm going to go and enjoy it. And so instead of just going for the cruise, I went 10 days prior. So I spent a few days in Milan, Rome, Florence, and finally Venice when I met up with the ladies, and then we did the cruise. It was the most exciting time of my life. I had just turned 30. I had some real money by being a teacher. I was able to explore the world on my terms. And then a couple of years after that, I read this, and this actually led me to spend a month in Italy 10 years later. So that was a gift to myself for my birthday. And also, I think I had just graduated from grad school with my MSW, and the world was like bright and shiny. I had lost weight. You know, I was a grown woman then, and I always wanted to spend time or the summer somewhere else other than where I'm from, because I just had the time. And so I spent 30 days in Italy, in Florence specifically, and this kind of jolted me to do so. I read the book, I watched the movie, I still watch the movie from time to time. I always watch the part when she's in Italy. It's just my spirit place, and so much so a lot of my colleagues and friends and family often ask, am I ever going to move there, or try to live there, or try to buy property there? That's how much I love it, and I'm actually looking forward to spending my next vacation there as well. So Eat, Pray, Love. The fourth book by Sunny Hostin, Summer on the Bluffs. So this is about a family in Martha's Vineyard on the Bluffs. So Oaks Bluffs is a town primarily for African Americans, in like the talent and 10th, let's be honest about it. You know, African Americans who are well to do. It's been opened up a little bit more, but most families who have homes there are generational. And so this was kind of that story. I started going to Martha's Vineyard, specifically Oak Bluffs, back in 2010 for the African American Film Festival. And I've been pretty much every year, every summer since then. I might have missed like COVID year and another year that I was, you know, traveling abroad or whatever. But it's kind of like my place, my tranquil place where I can go to reset. I used to go all the time in August for the festival, and then I started going towards the end of August, like Labor Day weekend, just a way of resetting, and because my new year is September when the school starts, so resetting and getting prepared for my new year and my work year. And now I go with a sister friend of mine who is a mentor. She was actually my Girl Scout leader, and we're now like friends as adults. And her family has a home there. She's one of those people that grew up on the island. So we go, she has invited me. So the last couple of years I've been going with her. It's just been an awesome experience to see Black people owning who they are, and living in their truths and not giving a who knows. So I love that. So Summer on the Bluffs. And then I can't stop talking about this book. I've been talking about this book literally all year, since it came out, and it came out on my birthday. Kennedy Ryan's Can't Get Enough. This is part of the Skyland series. This is Hendrix's story. Once again, I'll say it from the rooftop, Hendrix's story mimics my life the most, and I think that's why I like this book the most. Type A auntie, taking care of her business, taking care of her mama, doing all the things, but also not embracing her love journey until someone says, hey, you deserve to be loved as well. And I've said that on this channel a couple of times. I'm on my love journey. I want somebody to love me up. So this story really captures who I am in this phase of my life. So I feel like with HBCU Made was the beginning of my adulthood, and this is like now my middle age lady auntie vibes. But yes, so we have Kennedy Ryan's Can't Get Enough, Sunny Hostin's Summer on the Bluffs, Elizabeth Gilbert, Eat, Pray, Love, Year of the Yes by Sandra Rhimes, and HBCU Made, Aisha Roscoe. So those are the 5 books that really represent who I am, and my journey through this thing we call life. And I appreciated all of those parts of my life, and reading is a part of that. So it's been awesome to find these books that represent me to my core. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Like I usually say, come back for day 3 of Bookmas tomorrow, and we'll see what the video takes us then. Have a good day. Peace.